Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to another Crypto Watch YouTube video. I know I haven't made one of these in a while, but we are going to get back into them. Today we are going to be talking about Avalanche, or the acronym is AVAX. I'm sure a lot of you all have heard about it. First and foremost, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I'm here for informational purposes only. As well as, if you do enjoy the video, please leave a like and subscribe. I would absolutely appreciate it. And if you do have any comments or questions down below, please leave them down and I'll try and answer them to the best of my knowledge. As well as, if you do have any other cryptocurrencies or any other projects you want me to take a look at and make a video on, you can also leave that down below and I will get into it. We don't really have anybody suggesting anything, so I've kind of just been doing my own thing. But if you do enjoy these videos, leave a suggestion down below and I'll make a video. Alright, Avalanche sitting at $22.81. It is down 1.17% on the day. The market cap is a $6,500,000,000 market cap. Fully diluted market cap is $16,420,000,000, and the volume 24 hours is 325,576,000. This is the Bitcoin to Avalanche chart for a year. We'll take the Bitcoin off. Reached in, I believe this was the all-time high. How do I check that? I'm pretty sure I can check that somewhere around here. Well, either way, $134. Let's go to year to date. Reached an all-time high. Huh. There we go. Yeah, so $134, and it is currently worth $22 a coin. That is a big move. Am I telling you that it can get back there? I honestly have no idea. Do I believe in this project? Absolutely. And let's get into the website and the white paper for the token, or the white paper for the token. All right, so this is the Avalanche website. Welcome to the multiverse. The Avalanche Foundation launches an incentive program focused on accelerating the adoption and growth of its novel subnets, the premier scaling solution for Web3 dApps. Blazingly fast, low cost, and eco-friendly. Let's just go learn more right here. Boom. Avalanche Foundation launches multiverse and up to 290 million incentive program to accelerate growth of new internet and subnets. The Avalanche Foundation has launched Avalanche Multiverse and up to 290 million incentive program focused on accelerating the adoption and growth of its novel subnet functionality, which enables a rich ecosystem of scalable app-specific blockchains. Initially, the program is focused on supporting new ecosystems, including but not limited to blockchain-enabled gaming, DeFi, NFTs, and institutional use cases. Avalanche Multiverse will bring a DeFi Kingdom-specific subnet or app chain with a combined maximum of 15 million of incentives for AVAX and Crystal, a new Avalanche native token created by DeFi Kingdoms to complement its existing Jewel token. Details surrounding the allocation of rewards will be forthcoming. The entire DeFi Kingdoms universe is written into smart contracts, pushing the envelope of what is possible with blockchain technology. We began looking very early on for technology that could help us scale and introduce new features like using our native tokens or gas fees without sacrificing security or decentralization. Avalanche's revolutionary subnet technology is the perfect fit, says Frisky Fox, Executive Director of DeFi Kingdoms. Additionally, Ava Labs, a core developer of the Avalanche client, will collaborate with the Ava companies, Golden Tree Asset Management, Wintermute, Jump Crypto, Valkyrie, Securitize, and others to build the first horizontally integrated blockchain specifically engineered for institutional DeFi with native KYC functionality. This will enable regulated institutions to leverage the power of subnets to access DeFi primitives at a scale and accelerate the institutional adoption of DeFi. Couple quotes, and then we'll read all these quotes real quick, and then we'll get into the white paper. Avalanche subnets enable us to create an ideal environment for institutions to migrate on-chain and experience the power of DeFi protocols firsthand as users rather than just as investors, said Stani Kulchov. Sorry if I butchered the name. Founder and CEO of AVE. This is a significant leap toward a future where the barriers between traditional and decentralized finance cease to exist. DeFi will increasingly become the foundation of the global financial system, said Sarabha Sharma, partner and head of venture investments at Jump Crypto, working with Ava Labs to create a space for institutions to adopt DeFi at a scale aligns perfectly with our objective of helping builders build the blue chip financial projects of the future. Avalanche's subnet with KYC infrastructure will be a massive step forward for institutional adoption, and we are proud to support the implementation, said Wes Cohen, managing director at DeFi at Valkyrie Investments. The subnet structure uniquely stays true to our beliefs of how we envision DeFi's continued development with a decentralized mainnet in parallel to a permissioned subnet. At Valkyrie, we look forward to bringing our institutional partners into the permissioned ecosystem and working within future regulatory frameworks to utilize decentralization ledger technology for both retail and institutional partners alike. There is significant demand by regulated financial institutions to participate in the growth of decentralized finance. The integration of Securitize ID natively into wallets through the Avalanche C chain will provide regulatory consistent direct access to all DeFi apps, said Carlos Domingo, co-founder and CEO of Securitize, with Securitize ID providing on-chain identity verification attestations. A major regulatory roadblock to institutional adoption has been removed. The development of an Avalanche variant tailored for institutional DeFi will be another significant step in accelerating adoption. Big quotes from some big CEOs. This is the Avalanche network. All right. How do I zoom in? Because that is not fair to all of y'all. That's better. Avalanche native token dynamics. Abstract. This paper discusses the key implementation details, in particular the token economics of the native token of the Avalanche platform called AVAX. The native token secures the network, pays for fees, and provides the basic unit of account between the multiple blockchains deployed on a larger Avalanche network. For additional details on Avalanche, which serves as a versatile and universal platform allowing anyone to launch new blockchains with their own rules, virtual machines, and validator sets, we guide the reader to either the accompanying architectural paper or the Avalanche docs. Introduction. The economic model of any new digital currency asset is one of the most critical components of the platform that the asset resides on. This is especially true for the native token of a self-sovereign, permissionless platform like Avalanche. In this paper, we discuss the economic design of the native token called AVAX. The discussion is broken down into the governance properties of the token, its supply minting, rewards, functions of stakers, and other pertinent economics details such as transactional economy. Key properties. There are key takeaway properties of the design of the AVAX economics model. The resources spent by a validator for staking and proportional to the validator's total stake. The rewards accumulated by a validator for validating the proportional to a validator's total stake. Since Avalanche is leaderless, there is no rich get richer compounding effects. Validators that lock their stake for longer are rewarded more. Validators are incentivized to stay online and operate correctly as the rewards are based on proof of uptime and proof of correctiveness. AVAX is a capped supply token with a maximum cap of 720 million tokens. While capped, AVAX is still governable. At the rate at which the maximum cap is reached is subject to governance. Fees are not paid to any specific validator, instead, they are burned, thus increasing scarcity of the AVAX. Governance. We initiate our survey of the Avalanche economic design by first discussing governance, as it plays a critical role within future components. To enable the system to adapt to changing economics conditions, the Avalanche platform enables key system parameters to be modified dynamically based on user input. A workable process for finding global acceptable values for system parameters is critical for decentralized systems without custodians. Avalanche can use its consensus mechanism to build a system that allows anyone to propose special transactions that are, in essence, system wide polls. Any participating node may issue such proposals. Reward rate is an important parameter that affects any currency, whether digital or fiat. Unfortunately, cryptocurrencies that fix this parameter might face various issues, including deflation or hyperinflation. To that end, the reward rate will be subject to governance within pre established boundaries. This will allow token holders to choose the rate at which AVAX reaches its capped supply. Transaction fees detonated, I think, by the set F will also be eventually governed by F. F is effectively the tuple which describes the fees associated with the various instructions and transactions supported in future releases. Finally, staking times and amounts will also be governable. The list of these parameters is defined in Figure 1. Ultimately, we note that governance in AVAX has hysteresis, meaning that changes to parameters are highly dependent on their recent changes. There are two limits associated with each governable parameter: time and range. Once a parameter is changed using a governance transaction, it becomes very difficult to change it again immediately and by a large amount. These difficulty and value constraints relax as more time passes since the last change. These restrictions are in keeping with the design philosophy and predictability. The system must never change drastically over a short period of time, allowing users to safely predict system parameters in a short term, while having strong control and flexibility for the long term. Token economics. AVAX has a cap supply of 720 million tokens. The Genesis block will have 360 million tokens. The rest of the 360 million tokens will be minted according to the equation 1 for a graphical representation. Figure 2 shows the token emissions curve between AVAX and Bitcoin. The principle of the emissions function chosen for Avalanche is simple: reach a capped supply in fashion similar to Bitcoin's emissions curve, and yet maintain the ability to govern the rate at which the system reaches its limit. We'll skip all that. Minting mechanism. Minting in AVAX is designed to incentivize nodes to behave in a way that positively helps global outcomes. This is accomplished by special minting transactions. A node earns the right to mint by first putting up a stake and then participating actively in the consensus process. Specifically, node rewards are directly linked to their uptime and response latency. Every node maintains local information about the liveness and behavior of each other node with which it interacted. Whenever a node is sampled by Whenever a node V is sampled by U, the latter maintains a local tuple of response bit timestamp. The first entry is a single bit representing whether V responded within the timeout, and the second represents the timestamp of the response. In responded with the timeout. In other words, minting in Avalanche is done via proof of uptime and proof of responsiveness. This mechanism has important consequences. In particular, such there is no leader accumulating rewards and there's no rich get richer compounding effects. Transaction economy, fee structure. The fee structure in the Avalanche platform carries several differentiating features that distinguish it from other existing and upcoming platforms. Staker fees. Unlike other protocols that pay all fees to the elected leaders, such as in Bitcoin, in Avalanche, fees are simply burned. Therefore, payment is global and for the good of the entire ecosystem. Fee burning increases scarcity of the tokens in the system. The minting process offsets the transaction fee burning. Therefore, there is no danger of the system grinding to a long-term halt due to the gradual destruction of coins. Transaction cost. In Avalanche, transaction fees differ depending on the type of transaction. Institution or instantations of new subnetworks carry the heaviest fees. Sorry about that. In contrast, other types of transactions, such as simple payments of AVAX, carry little cost. For other subnets, transactions pay fees in that subnet's native token, as well as some amount of the AVAX token. A transaction native to a subnetwork may specify its own transaction fee structure, and it is up to the creator of the subnet to choose a fee structure that incentivizes validation for open permissionless subnetworks. Sliding cost function. Transaction fees carry a sliding cost function. The fee is not set by the issuer of the transaction, but rather by a globally verifiable fee function. As the congestion in the network increases, fees increase. At the end of some specific period of time, the function is recalculated to accommodate natural increases in transaction volume in the network. Transaction tiers. Unlike in a model such as Ethereum's, where every transaction invocation must pay some gas, Avalanche adopts a different model that incorporates two types of transaction processing mechanisms. All keys with positive account balances will be able to immediately interact with the platform, where the fees will be based on an allotment mechanism functionally similar to a tiered payments model adopted in cloud computing platforms. Every transaction will name a sender address, which will be checked for a current invocation element. If the address still has fees invocations left, the transaction does not have to carry any fees attached by the sender. Past a certain amount of calls, the sender will need to attach some fees based on the resources used to compute the transaction. Additionally, users may opt instead of pay for their transactions using computation. To that end, future releases will support free frequency limited transactions which do not require fees in coins but require some pre-computation. Whenever a new transaction is generated, the user will compute and attach a valid POW on the transaction, which can be checked by all other parties. Spam management. Although simple payments do carry fees, the value will be virtually zero. This, however, can lead to spam in the network. In future releases, to prevent congestion, each transaction carries with a local POW. The POW, which, if y'all didn't know, is proof of work, is initially a low difficulty and therefore a transaction that Therefore, a transaction can be immediately issued with very little overhead. However, if a specific key generates a large amount of transactions in the short amount of time, each subsequent transaction will carry a larger amount of difficulty in its POW puzzle. This mechanism works in conjunction with fee burning. That's it. God, that was kind of a lot. Anyways, that's the AVAX token. That was the AVAX Avalanche Native Token Dynamics, or their token white paper. I do personally like AVAX. If you are curious as to where you can purchase AVAX, if you did not know, Binance, Coinbase, KuCoin, FTX, Gate.io, whatever that one is. We've got Polynex, Kraken. We've got Coin One, Bitstamp, Gate.io, Bittrex, CoinList Pro, BitHum, OKX, MEXC, Femex, Crypto.com, LBank, Ascend, OKCoin, Toko Crypto, Bybit, Indo Dax, Pancake Swap, Whitebit. So basically all of them is what I'm seeing. All the exchanges you can probably buy Avalanche. It is a big token. It's one of the bigger. What am I trying to get at? One of the bigger altcoins. I don't know why I couldn't find that word for a second. Yeah. This is a big coin. I hope you all did enjoy the video. It is 22 minutes long. So if you made it all the way to the end, say AVAX down in the comments section below. I'd really appreciate it. Let's start doing code words for if you make it all the way to the end. Heck yeah. Alright, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I shall see y'all in the next one. Yep, peep, 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 peep.